In this crash course, we are going to learn Python from very basics to advanced, and this course is designed for absolute beginner who has no prior experience writing code in Python. And this course will be extremely helpful for those who is planning to learn artificial intelligence, website development, automation, or data science. So let's start our first class. In this class, we will be learning what actually Python, learn installing the Python, running our first program, learn about the comments and printing. At first, what is Python? Python is actually a high-level programming language, and it's also an interpreted programming language, not compiled programming language like C, C++. And that's why Python is slower compared to the low-level programming language like C, C++. Still, it's widely used and a very powerful programming language because it's a very easy to learn programming language and widely used, like used for artificial intelligence, web application development, automation, data science, robotics, etc. As I said first, Python is an interpreted programming language, and that's why Python interpreter executes the code line by line. That means if you write 1000 line of code, then that 1000 lines of code are going to execute one by one. Here at this point, I want to show some simulation about Python execution flow. So here I made one script like this. So this section is for the source code, this is the output, and this is the execution flow. Here we can see in the Python program there is total 5 phases of running a single program. The first phase is source code, second is the parser. From the source code, the code is converted to the parser, and this parser convert to the bytecode, and that bytecode is actually convert the code in virtual machine, and then finally we get the output. So if we start the simulation, we can see source code is going to the parser, and parser is converting the code into bytecode, and that bytecode is converting to Python virtual machine, and finally we are getting the results. So this is how every Python program works. Next is setting up the Python environment for running the Python code in our computer. So first of all, we have to install the Python from python.org. So this is the Python official website for installing the Python. We can go python.org, and if we see the downloads here, and here we can see Python source, Python 3.13.7. From here you can always download the Python latest version. If you click on the all release, then you can see all the releases here. You can download a specific version of the code. The latest version of Python is 3.13.7, so you can download by clicking here, and after then you will get one MSI file that will be easy to install by double clicking on the file. So I have already installed the Python. After installing the Python, you just have to open one VS Code or any code editor. Here I am using the Visual Studio Code. So also you can download and install Visual Studio Code by searching VS Code. Download here. By going to the Microsoft Visual Studio Code official website, you can just click on the download button if you are using Windows, and if you are using Mac or Linux, then you can choose your version. So after downloading, you can double click it to install and open the VS Code. After that, you will actually open one folder. I'm opening one folder. Okay, so I'm opening this folder, and this is my folder opened already. And now from here we can open up the terminal here that will be necessary for running our program. So here is our file browser, here is the file editor area, and this is the terminal area. This is the standard interface of Visual Studio Code. So now here in the terminal we can check if the Python is installed on our computer or not. So we can see Python 3.11.13 is installed on our computer. When you download and install Python of any specific version here and double click to install it, then download and install the VS Code and open, and then run this command python -- version. So you will see something like this, and if it is showing something like this on your computer, then you have successfully installed Python on your computer. So now we are ready to start programming here. We already completed this step, install VS Code or an editor. We are using VS Code. This is the most popular code editor in the world currently. Now show how to open terminal and run code in the editor. So we already showed how to open the terminal here. If you see, And now we will write our first program in Python. First of all, we have to make one file here in the left side file browser. So say for example, I am giving the name as hello.py. So this will be our first program in Python. And here if you notice that I have given the file name extension as .py because Python file extension is .py. So always you must have to put the extension as .py for Python program file. Okay, so this is, we created the empty Python program. Now here we will write the Python programming code here. The first program is print hello world. So exactly we are copying this code from here to here. This is our actually first program. We can run here. How it's working, this is the print function that is responsible for showing some output, whatever given in the print function, that will be showed in the terminal. Okay, for showing the output. So we go to the doc here. So this is the Python print function. It is helpful for showing some output in the terminal. Okay, so whatever we put in this bracket, it will show in the terminal. Okay, then here we have put the hello world inside one quotation. So this is important. If we don't put the quotation, it will show you some errors because we cannot put directly string like this. In programming, strings are actually text. So that text always should be writing in quotation. Okay, so it is not only Python, but in many other programming languages, strings are written inside one quotation, single quotation or double quotation. So in Python also, if you want to write some string or text, then you must have to close the text using the quotation, single or double. So you can put here single quotation as well, but here also you have to give the single quotation. Okay, so this is our first program is done. And what our first program will do, it will just print the message inside the print function. Where it will print on the terminal from where we are going to run the program. Here I can see Python space the name of the program .py. So here if I come and write Python hello.py, if I hit enter, it will run the program. So here I can see hello world in the terminal because we have written the print statement here, and inside the print statement we written one message called hello world, and that hello world is printing here. But when we are running this program, it's actually fulfilling these 5 steps while giving the output here in the terminal. Now go to the next step. In Python there is comments, like the comments for the code writer for understanding internal things, not showing the outputs or not compiling or not interpreting the code. Okay, this is just comment. So how we can write here, I can explain this program, small program here using one comment. To write comment, you have to give one hash here, then you can write your comment whatever you need to understand later on. So here my first program, this is telling that this is my first program ever I wrote. This comment is not going to affect any compilation or any interpretation. So this is just one comment. This is